Okay, I made some changes to my radio. The last time that y'all seen this, this side here was bringing the power in to here, which controlled the lights. I did what I said that I could do. I brought it in from the back around in here and then back to the light controller. That freed up the taps right here so I can plug a headset in. I found a guitar T2 cracked skull head. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but it's got little red eyes. It's got this cracked skull. I found it on eBay. I put these on my joystick for like the hat switches. So I had one left. So it's kind of like a pretty cool feature. It kind of blends in, looks just perfect with this setup. So now I have a little, it's a guitar potentiometer T2 skull head. So that looks just perfect there. I did add 2 more LEDs here. I've got a 5-volt red LED, and then I've got a green LED. So these LEDs are always going to be on as long as I have power to the system. The LEDs are before the lights, the switches for the radio and the lights, just to give me, 2 little cool leads to look at, and also to let me know that I have power coming into the system before I flip the switches on. It also keeps the battery bank from shutting off after 10 seconds. It has this thing where if you don't flip the switch after 10 seconds and start drawing 5 volts or more current, it has a protection thing, so that shuts off the battery. So then I have to go back and plug it back in again and everything. But because I have these lights, I have one green one here on the bottom. It's running the 9 volts, and then I have 5 volts on the red. It's actually the green one that keeps the system in standby mode. So it's always in standby mode now. So if somebody wants to, 30 minutes later, they need to come and turn it on, it's going to come on instead of having to plug in the USB cord in the back to get current drawing. So I also have an interesting idea that I did too. This can be an objective that you find on the field. It can be hidden. You can put a radio frequency code, like an Eureka drone finder, and have a team search for this, or you can have like a little GPS tagger. So everybody has a phone app, and they can find the suitcase, and then they can find this headset. I'll look it up. It's a Vietnam era headset. There's a surplus place online. You can get them for like $15, brand new. Just took the guts out because I didn't quite understand the wiring on it. I can still get the old plugs, and I think that would have worked, but I just wired it up myself. I had 2 Nerf pistol taggers that had 1-inch speakers. The 1-inch speakers fit perfect in here, so I just wired it up myself. So basically, you can have a team to find the prop to listen to the code, so you can have a little bit more diversity. So once you find the radio, you plug it in with the banana plugs. Okay, there we go. So it can give the code out. Now, if I flip this switch here to turn my lights on, it has a little bit of static in there. And that's kind of cool because you can still hear it and everything, but it's just a little bit harder to make out. I could add more static into it, make it harder to hear by turning the volume up on this.
Code is 1345. Deactivation code is 1345.
So I have a little bit of flexibility.
345. Deactivation code is 1345.
So that was a pretty cool little feature that I came up with. One other suggestion was made to me about the spawn ball not having a large battery. I've yet to play with it, so I don't know how long the battery lasts. I don't know how many spawns you can get. I was suggested that, maybe I take a power cord, hook it up, run it down the pipe to the battery bank, because I have 2 ports on the battery bank. So it wasn't too hard to do that. So I just ran that down there. Can't think of anything else. I just got 2 lights for 5 volts and 9 volts just to tell me that I've got power, just to keep the system running. Because if I don't flip a switch within 10 seconds, normally, without these lights showing current draw, my battery would switch off. Oh yeah, and I did add a little hole in the bottom so I can plug the USB wire in and out. That makes things a little easier. And I also put this in from the bottom too. Let's see. Sure. But I have a little port right here, so everything can go up in there like so. And that prevents me from having to take these 4 screws and pop the knob off to get into it. The only reason why now I have to take the front cover off to get into this is because I want to run the speakers on the top. The speakers on the top are a lot louder than these little 1-inch. They're twice as big. Oh yeah, and there's one other thing that was done to this to cut down on a lot of the had a lot more interference, static interference, because of the light controller. So what I had to do there was the antenna that's back here. It comes out here in the front, and I just soldered the transmitter antenna that's broadcasting. I soldered that to this antenna here for the receiver. So I actually have the transmitter connected to the antenna, and I have the receiver connected to the same antenna. And on the same frequency, there's a lot less static than running the little tiny antenna for the transmitter here on the side, and then having the receiver antenna up here. So I'm sharing the same antenna, and it's pretty clear. It's a lot clearer when I turn the lights on than before it was. When I turned the lights on, you couldn't understand any of the words or anything like that. So I'm not an electronics expert, so I didn't know that was possible. It's something I just soldered the 2 wires to the antennas for the transmitter and receiver, and so that did what I needed it to do. So that's just a little update on what I've done to this. I can't think of too much else that I might do. Might be something else I come up with, but I'm in the process of getting some parts to build like another one, and so I'm gonna see how that one turns out. Hopefully, it turns out as well as this.